Shall we wait for a couple of minutes?
No, I think everyone is out on mountains. So even I came from yesterday from mountains. So uh, we can start. If they will miss, I will give them the recording of first few minutes.
Yeah. And are there any questions?
I have, but I have to prepare for that question properly with proper examples. So I will keep it for next session. That's the last session.
So, shall we start? We'll start with a small prayer. It's the prayer on Gita itself. It's a prayer on self. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudramarutaha Stunvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedai Sangapadakramopanisadai Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavastita tatkatena manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha Yasyantam Navidusura Suragana Devaya Tasmai Namaha. A very good morning to one and all. Today, the deliberation would be upon Bhakti Yoga. So, as Jalba, I remember it was Jalba, and she wanted the root words of every Sanskrit term that I use. So, Bhakti. Bhakti comes from this root word in Sanskrit called bhaja. Bhaja means many other meanings, it has many meanings inside. It means to devote, to adore, to have that fondness for. It also means to divide, to distribute, bhakti, vibhakti. Manish can understand this. Series, to make rows, so distribute into rows and columns, or to just divide. Why are these two meanings very, very different? They are different. Of course, there are many other words, but I'm trying to bring in a samanjasya, bring in a kind of link between the both. Bhakti is showing that adoration to Lord, showing that adoration to Guru. Our previous deliberation was on Guru, right? So accurately, it is today on Bhakti Yoga. The attribute of adoration towards Guru, towards Lord, is Bhakti. And what is there we divide? We divide our ego into sub-egos and then surrender it to the Lord. So that is what division happening inside through the Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga is a great school, which traditionally you don't find that there is this sub-school of yoga called Bhakti Yoga. But it was Krishna for the first time, he brought this school of Bhakti Yoga into prime importance, to give that importance to the school. He brought it into the limelight. It was there, but he wanted this sadhana as, a sadhana which has to be followed by many people. So he brought this into limelight, saying that look, there is this third division. Apart from jnana and karma, there's this third school which you can opt, which you can follow. What is this? Bhakti Yoga. How is it different from the other schools? No, other kinds of yoga? The other kinds of yoga talks about something that you have to do. In karma yoga, it is the renunciation part, the activity of renouncing attachment towards karma, attachment towards the action is what you have to do. In jnana yoga, you have to, gain lots of knowledge, being with the guru, sitting near the guru, and then try to mentally cogitate, try to resonate upon, reflect upon the ideas that we collected from the guru, from the Upanishads study. So these are all doing parts. You do renounce, you do analyze. So all the doings are there in jnana yoga and karma yoga. But bhakti yoga, to me, it is undoing everything. How to undo? Unless until you don't firmly believe there is someone superior to your maturity and understanding, unless until you do not firmly believe, do not firmly affirm, that appreciate that there is some being, some cosmic, intelligent, supernatural, omnipotent, omnipresent being there working. Make us all work and make us all not work also. Unless until you don't believe this, bhakti yoga cannot be followed properly. Because bhakti yoga needs an alambana. Alambana means a support. What happens when you are hanging, falling from the mountain? While you're falling, then your intellect is saying, okay, grab some sturdy branch. So what do? While falling only, you're trying to move here and there, with your hands and legs, and try to grab hold of some sturdy support. Whichever support for that matter. But you try to, if the support is little flimsy, what do? You try to switch over. Like monkey, you try to jump. Somehow you have to survive, right? So you try to grab hold of something that which is sturdy, more powerful, more dependable than you yourself, right? Like while you are falling from the mountain, a rope is more dependable than your own body, right? Similarly, in spirituality, you need a person who is more spiritually evolved, who is more dependable in terms of superior maturity, superior understanding. And he is called a guru or God himself. How is this Bhakti Yoga tradition has been taken on? This Bhakti Yogic tradition is taken by, I will not say great many rishis who had, who is well versed in Vedas, who is well versed in mantras, who had scholarly understanding. No. Namadeva, a bhakta, a devotee, who is said to be the highest Bhakti Yogi, he was just a tailor. Tukaram was a cultivator. Meera was a feeble young lady, was a householder woman, doing her household chores. So it is not the kind of possession that you have in this society which makes you to be a bhakti yogi, but how simple you can be can make you progress in this path, bhakti yogi path. Simpleton and surrender to that omnipresent, omnipotent being. Might he be Guru? Guru and God are one and the same. I have been discussing that. Guru and Vishnu are one and the same. So might he be Guru, might he be God. But if you have that heart to, simple heart or the simple mechanism to donate all your egoistic pleasures, renounce all these worldly pleasures unto him, this bhakti yoga, that so what are the kinds of bhakti? What is this devotion that I am talking of? Do you definitely have to believe Lord? Answer is yes. As I said, you need a support, you need an alambana. What are the kinds of bhakti? How do you devote yourself to that supreme being? There are two kinds of bhakti, para and apara. Apara bhakti, is that adoration to Lord that we all have. You believe in Jesus, when things go unnatural, when things go out of your control, and then you clasp your hands, you grab hold of his feet mentally, and then say, Lord, please help me. I'm unable to do anything in this matter. Oh God, oh Almighty, you are mightier than me. Please help me because I have to make things right. So this is a small kind. Prayer is one effective way in this technique, Bhakti Yoga technique. It's a great tool which is found in Bhakti Yoga. I'll come to that part. So you need a support. You definitely need that belief of cosmic being present there for you, protect you, help you at how uneven situations can be. Like this pandemic situation, we are there at our own houses, being completely shut, not able to see the faces of our own friends, families. People are dejected. I was just thinking how lords themselves are. They are also shut in their own temples. There are no people coming and taking his blessings. There is no darshana allowed. Temples are also shut. So even gods are there like that. So what does he want us to do? He wants us to sit quietly. Try to introvert. Enough of seeing outside, enough of looking outside, enough of interacting socially outside. Interact with your own self. That's what Lord himself is saying shut in the temple, sitting inside the temple. He himself is meditating. This is my meditation time. I don't want to see anyone. Enough of your claimings, enough of your complaints, enough of your desires. Just put them off. Anyways, so that belief is the prime thing, is the first and foremost important thing in Bhakti Yoga. That belief can be divided into two. Belief of the Lord, that he is there for me, Rama is there for me, Rama the mighty supreme Lord is going to take me away from all those sufferings. He is going to guide me throughout my life, how I have to be, how I have to speak, and how do I end my life. So he is there as the guiding light. So if I think that way, I'm a devotee of Rama. That is aparabhakti. What is parabhakti then? Parabhakti is said to be supreme, more, a higher version of bhakti. How is that bhakti be? When I see Rama himself in my kids, in my taunting husband, in my triggering mother-in-law, in Aurelia, Rama is there in Alina, Rama is there in the system, Rama is there in the stupid phone. When I could see that, when that perception happens, then my simple devotion to the Lord, that Lord, please protect me, I am worthless, I am powerless, that had come into a higher grade, seeing that nothing else but the Lord only remains everywhere. Why I have to worry? Why do I have to fear? So that is an ultimate bhakti said by all scholars, the traditional bhakti yogi personalities themselves. I was suddenly remembered by Namadeva's story. Again, a bhakti yogi from Maharashtra, a part of India. He lived around 70 to 100 years ago, perhaps even lesser than that. He lives in the remembrance of Lord all the time. He is married, he has kids, he has work to do. He was a tailor, but still his all pieces of work will be done, but as if he is not doing that piece of work, he is always in the mood of being united with Vitthala, being united with Vishnu, the Lord. Once he was sitting under the tree, his wife knows that Namadeva, when he is in that meditative stage, that he is completely in unison with Lord, he remembers all these worldly things. He forgets all this. He forgets all these worldly things, like when to eat, whether I was thirsty or not, who are all around, all those things he forgets. He does not have awareness of it all, because all his awareness is completely introverted towards himself. And so it was more than lunch's hour. He couldn't had his food the entire day. So the wife brings lunch for him. A few chapatis, we make chapatis, the round rotis, and then a little sabzi. What is sabzi? Wet vegetable, with which we have these chapatis. Otherwise, it is very dry, no? These are very dry wheat made dough, which is steamed over the tawa. So it is usually dry. Why am I telling all this? I'll tell you. So he was given this food, and then the wife left away. She thought that he will gain his consciousness back, and then he will try to eat. And it so happened that he got his conscious back and he was eating under this tree. At that point of time, there was this dog who came up, snatched his food away, rotis away. And Namadeva was, running behind the dog. And we also run behind, because if there is no lunch provided, this is the only meal that we have. We'll also try to snatch, from the mouth of the dog, we'll try to snatch, slice that part away and then try to eat something away from that. But Namadeva, on the other hand, carried that wet vegetable in his hand, sabzi in his hand, saying that, oh, Vitthala, why are you having these dry rotis? It will get stuck in your throat. let me just try to feed you. Try to take that chapatis in bits, mix it with wet vegetables, and then when you try to gulp it in, it will be soothing, relaxing. And then he was literally feeding that dog. The people around thought that he is completely mad, insane. That's how people will think. If people think you to be mad, insane, and crazy, remember that you are spiritually evolving. No? So, at that point of time, the dog vanishes, and there was the darshana of Lord Vishnu himself. Namadeva was all in tears, and all the mouths were shut, who was talking ill about Namadeva. This is Parabhakti. Seeing that Lord, it's not seeing everything as Lord's creation. It is seeing the Lord everywhere. The glory of Lord everywhere. That's what Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita also says. One who could find that state, he is not just a bhakta, he is just not a devotee, he is a jnani himself. He classifies 4 kinds of bhakti: artha, artharthi, jigyasu, and jnani. Artha are the persons who comes to the Lord saying that, oh, show mercy, I have no money. I have to make my kid, prosper well. Hence, I have to put him in a nice school. A nice school or good education comes with a price. Please help me in some way or the other so that I prosper myself well. I take care of my kid's education or his future, his or her future. So that intention behind. Lord is so compassionate that even with this selfish intention a person comes to him, he treats him as his bhakta, him as his devotee. This is completely, I call Krishna insane. How can he be? When a person comes to me for help only with selfish intentions, what will I do? I'll keep a little more distance. I'll try to help him out, and then I'll try to keep a little distance from him, because I know this guy will come to me only with some problem or the other. Only when he is into trouble. He is not worried about me. He does not want to understand who I am, what I'm doing for him. No. But Lord is so compassionate. He knows everything, that he is coming with selfish interest. Still, he calls him as devotee number 1. Devotee number 2, artharthi. Sorry, artharthi means a person who is in trouble, some kind of sickness I have, or I have some cancer cells growing up, I have some tumor in my brain. Oh Lord, I am powerless. All medicines of the entire universe, allopathy, Ayurveda, homeopathy, European medicines, natural medicines, home remedies, nothing had helped me. It is your grace and compassion which can make me positive and make me pink in health. He calls him to be a devotee. Somehow he is coming to me. Somehow he understands that somehow he has this faith that there is some omnipotent being before him, above him. So he calls him as a devotee. The third category he calls as Jigyasu, who is a person who is an aspirant who wants to know whether Lord resides or not. Is he there, or he is just paraphernalia created by some scholarly set of people? Is he just a kind of imagination which sits above the clouds, or is he really there? Is there a divine presence? He questions a lot. This can be a normal question also, whether the Ishvara resides in the universe, or whether he exercising his powers over universe? No? Is there at all a creative power behind this universe? It can be a spiritual questioning also. Who am I? So that questioning attitude inside a person can make him a devotee. So third category is jigyasu. The fourth one he calls the best of all three, who is our Namadeva, who tried to feed the dog with the wet vegetable, a jnani, a person of wisdom, of great wisdom. What is great wisdom? Seeing Lord everywhere. He is omnipresent. He is alone there. Oh, that is a person who wronged you, who insulted you just a few months ago. He is Ishvara himself. This is coronavirus, such dangerous thing which is in the air. He is Ishvara himself. Because all those things which creates troubles, which creates problems in your life, comes with a lesson, comes with your evolvement of maturity. What maturity? That all these things are transient. The first wave comes, it had gone. The second wave came, it had gone. Third wave is coming, fourth wave is upcoming. That will also come, it will also go. All these things are transient. When this maturity happens, that is great wisdom. What is that which remains all the time? Which is that strength? What is that power which is always there? Can you answer me? Can you unmute and answer me? What is that one thing which always remains?
It's the truth and the compassion.
Yes, the truth. But what is truth?
That what it is.
The truth is you yourself, my dear. You will remain. Aurelia will remain forever, not in her body, not in her name Aurelia, but the existence of Aurelia will remain. Don't you see that? Acha, let me just scientifically try to make you understand what does this mean. What happens when there is, God forbid such thing happen. It should happen, but long later, apocalypse. Either there is all fire or there is all water. What will remain? The water will also recede. Everything is destroyed. When you have this molecular, kind of telescope, and if you could find it all over this remnants of this universe, you will just see atoms and molecules. There's no Aurelia as in body. There is no Lalitha as in this body. But Aurelia will remain in her sets of molecules and atoms. Lalitha will remain in her sets of atoms and molecules. And they are all energy, packets of energy. This is what a jnani sees. Even before apocalypse. This energy is what that universal energy is. This is what he sees. Nothing else. He doesn't see a woman. He doesn't see a man of this caste, of this creed. Nothing. No distinguishing. He sees that one divine energy all around. Can you get my point? It is a weak example though. But for your mind to logically analyze and make a picturization of it, I gave this example. Although it is weak, sorry for that. So this is Parabhakti, the ultimate level of devotion. Now, why at all this devotion to Lord has to be a school of yoga? Why at all bhakti has to be called as yoga, the path to progress oneself? Why is it so? Because it is bhakti which could, make a narrowed egoistic personality to grow, to flourish, to transform into a supreme perfect personality. Why? How? I'll give you. What is bhakti basically? It's an emotion, right? So Dr. H.R. Nagendra used to call Bhakti Yoga as emotional culturing. When you try to culture your emotions, when you try to scientifically help your emotions go better, emote better, then such emotional culturing technique is called Bhakti Yoga, he says. Now coming back to Bhakti being an emotion, what does it do? Emotion to Lord just springs out from your heart. It's not a physiological heart, from the spiritual heart. Right? What happens? Lalita, who was constantly engaging herself in thinking about, worrying about her kids' health, prosperity, education, or her family's upliftment, or some professional advancement, career approach, This is what Lalita was thinking. Very narrowed, egoistic, desire-based, thought-based, intentionally, heart, which was emoting all the time. So how does it emote? With rage, revenge. Oh, you did this to me. And then worry, panic, fear of uncertainty. That also strikes. So many emotions strikes with this narrowed egoistic personality. The base of all these emotions is karma. What is karma? Thanks to Wikipedia. It translates karma as Kama Sutras, or sexual love. But karma is basically, according to Sanskrit lexico, is selfish desire. Any selfish desire. No, I'm worried about my family. That is again a selfish desire. When it is burning outside in this pandemic situation, you are worrying that your family is safe. How selfish we can all be. How foolish we can all be. Every family out there in the society is losing one or the other, but we are little relaxed that nothing is, nothing is bad that happened to our family. This is karma. What is bhakti? When bhakti enters into this spiritual heart, what happens? This karma is broken completely into pieces, shatters, but reforms into something else called prema. What does prema mean? You give Sanskrit terms all the time, Lalita ji. What are you doing? Selfish love transforms itself into selfless love called prema. Like that Namadeva had for that dog. That was a stupid dog. Street dog. Nobody even will go by its side. He is touching the dog, trying to feed the dogs, thinking that he is the Lord himself. Vittala himself has come. Vishnu himself has come. Selfless love. Now, what had happened, what transformation had happened inside that heart from this kama. There is an upliftment from kama to prema. Sacrifice, tyaga had dawned. You had sacrificed your ego there. When you sacrifice your ego, kama, selfish love, becomes one step higher, selfless love, prema. It's just a sacrifice of ego. It is only that. It is coupled with one other element called surrender. How can you sacrifice? Bhakti is to divide, no? Divide. Sacrificing. Divide my ego into many pieces and put it down into the trash bin. So how do you do that? How do you shatter your ego? How do you shatter your tamas, your lethargy? It is through surrender. And for that, you need that support, alambana, that belief. And there is this cosmic being, this Lord, this Guru, who is always taking care of me, always sheltering me, protecting me all throughout. He is going to help me out. Come what may. 20 minutes ago, I was given this topic, Bhakti Yoga. I said, Bhagwan, please help me. I didn't prepare myself. It has to be offhand completely. There's no notes only. What did I do? Sacrifice. The second thing that I did was that I do every time when I am on the stage, when I am before any scientific committee and then I have to present my research papers. Previously, I remember that was in Bali, an international conference just before COVID, where there were people coming around. So I was called as the resource person, and then to present my paper, I presented my PhD topic, which I did over the prisoners, which I've been discussing with you all. It was not that hard because I've been doing this all the time, but it was hard because I had to do before my guru. Before those people who taught me what yoga is, what why yoga mean. And then they were one among the panels. I was one among them in the panel. That actually made me go haywire. Because I thought, what will happen if I, fumble before my guru? If I speak something wrong, if any apashabda comes out. But that very night, I did the samarpana. I surrendered to my guru. Guru, it is you who are speaking. It is not Lalitha tomorrow is speaking, because I'm fumbling all around. When I was practicing myself, I was fumbling. I couldn't speak a word. Because that thought that how am I going to speak before Guru if I did something wrong or not? That intention, that selfish desire was there. So, to cut that, to sacrifice that egoistic desire, surrender helped me. I'm speaking from my heart. I hope you understand this. I did that. And then, after the presentation, Gauravji calls me from the stage. Did you realize that only in your presentations there were clappings 3 times and there were people standing up and clapping? When I came down only, I realized that because I do not know. I was completely in the sense of agency, because I'm just agent speaking. He was inside me operating. I couldn't realize because I was just an agent. When I came down, when I got my senses back, I do not know which was senses rightly. When Gauravji told me, then I realized, yes, oh my God, this really did well. This presentation really went well. Did go well. So that's what surrender can make you do. You will excel. Just the thing that you have to drop the desire that you should excel in that piece of action. Beautiful. Bhakti can make that, make you to do that. Devotion can make you to do that, because it can transform that selfishness to selflessness by surrendering. The story is not over. Kama, prema, and then one step higher is bhakti. What is higher than selfless love? What can be that emotion which can be ultimate, which can be superior to selfless love? This is selfless, universal love. Seeing that Lord in everywhere, that is bhakti, that is parabhakti. That's how you progress in that ladder from selfishness, from egoistic, narrowed personality to a broad, ever-loving, kindness is your embodiment. That's what you are. From kama to prema, prema to bhakti, and Bhagavatam says there are two kids to bhakti. Bhakti is a mother. No, she's a mata, she's a mother. She has two kids. What are those kids? Jnana and Vairagya. Bhakti gives you wisdom, that spiritual wisdom you've been deeply yearning for, deeply troubled because of all those societies, all those, laws of nature, the karma, all those things is hitting you hard. But Bhakti will give you beautifully in your hands, it will keep. Oh, you can easily take it and grab it in. What is it? It's spiritual wisdom. That it is you and you alone going to remain. You are that truth. You are not a part of truth. You are the truth. Tat Tvam Asi. That scriptural wisdom shall be provided by Bhakti. That's the first child that it gives. Second, Vairagyam, dispassion. What is this dispassion about? Are you a kind of dry personality, without any passion? You are dispassionate to worldly pleasures. You are dispassionate towards worldly objects. What, you become a sadhu with your half naked and you go to Himalayas, that's how you will be? No. You will very much be into the family. You will very much do your old job, but doing a better job with this dispassionate attitude. That surrender will yield that dispassion, I shall say this. Because I've experienced that. I'm in that mood of Bali's presentation now. That surrender had yielded that dispassion towards, I didn't care how my presentation will go while the time I was talking. That moment, that thought didn't arise that what will happen when Ratna Didi listens to me? What will happen when Dr. H.R. Nagendra listens to me? He's listening to me, oh my God. That thought had dropped. That dispassion is what Bhakti can yield to. Anyways, so I have few more moments. I'll finish Bhakti with this small little note that Bhakti can be done in various ways. How will my surrender aspect come? How am I going to sacrifice duality and multitudinous? How am I going to bring that spirit, bhakti spirit of oneness in all. How is this going to be logical? Is this going to be very much applicable in this world? Or am I going to go insane? Scripture says, but Srimad Bhagavatam says, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, there are 9 ways where you can show this devotion. How can you devote yourself? Shravanam. Just by listening. Listening to the glory of Godhead. I cannot do anything else. Okay, open the YouTube. Find some good gurus, deliberations over Lord's glories or Bhakti or Jnana, Vedanta. Sri Ramakrishna Mutt's lineage gurus had been definitely high in the order in deliberating upon Vedanta. Shivananda, there are many gurus. All those masters of that guru lineage can give that initiation. Shravanam. Listen to them. Just by listening. I got to cook. No worries. Continue listening with a Bluetooth. So while cooking, you'll not get panicked that, oh, the timely breakfast is not done. I couldn't pack the breakfast, pack the lunch boxes timely. That panic will not strike you. You will be at ease. You will do a better job. That food will taste much better. Shravanam, listening. The second one, Kirtanam, you can sing unto Lord. How do you sing? Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 Peaceful it is. I cannot chant mantras. I cannot sing like you. Don't worry. Listen. So very practicable. These approaches are very much practical. You can do it. Even when there is no time, you can do this. Kirtana. It purifies your spiritual heart. And at one point, it will break that ego. Kama will transform into prema, prema will transform into bhakti, bhakti will transform into jnana. You will not realize it. It will happen. Magic. The third thing, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnovu, Smaranam. Can't do anything. I'm just lying down. I was put into bed rest. I have fractured my tailbone. Can't do anything. I can't even lift my phone to operate YouTube. Don't worry. Close your eyes. Shut down your mind. Remember Lord's speech. Remember His glories. Try to recollect the stories of Lord. Smaranam, remembering, recollecting, thinking of Him. Just one or two thought of that Godhead can purify you, can bring in that bhakti. How simple, practical ways they are. Pada Sevanam. Look, I cannot, I'm such a person who can work. You give me some piece of work, I would do it like anything. So for that, workaholics, there's one technique, Pada Sevanam. Okay, there's a small little idol, Krishna, coming into your house. There's Ganesha coming into your house. How will you feed him? Is this 3-month-old baby that you're having? How will you feed him? Yeah, I will feed him milk. Okay. I'll feed him fruits. Yes, smash it and give him. Oh. And then morning, he has to take, brush his teeth. He has to take bath. Okay. Do that archana. If you don't have anything, have tulsi. You have basil in your garden. Place the basil on his feet. You'll be happy. Padasevanam. Servicing, devotional service to Lord. Workaholics can, enjoy this kind of technique. They can engage their mind. Okay, if I'm going to water, the holiest thing in the world, if I'm going to make him take bath or bathe him, so my mind and spirits have to be purified. So only while bathing or just by lighting that camphor in front of him and by seeing that jyoti, that flame, what will happen? Mind starts to cease. So devotional service is one another option. Archanam. Chant mantras and put flowers under his feet. What kind of mantras? Any mantra for that matter. Like in Surya Namaskara, we have Bija mantras. You might have been aware of it. So that's why I'm giving this example. Om Mitraya Namaha. Om Ram Mitraya Namaha. Om Hrim Ravaye Namaha. What are we doing there? In the Bija mantras, while prostrating, doing the Surya Namaskars, what are we doing? We are trying to surrender ourselves unto that Lord. Who is Surya? He is you yourself. Always illuminating, always emanating light, divine light, wisdom, destroyer of all diseases and darkness. Isn't he you? So that's Archana. Vandana. Don't do anything. I'm just passing by the temple. There's this temple open. I have my office right at 10. I have to be there. Otherwise, my salary goes off. I cannot, press that button of attendance. I don't have time. What can I do? Just by being on that motorcycle or in the car, stop for a while, clasp your hands, surrender. Just that one very moment of vandana. One very moment of clasping the hands, understanding you are higher to me. Take care of my life. You are doing my life. That moment, Vandana. How practical, how simple they are. Dasyam. The entire life, think that you are an agent. The sense of agency will bring that non-attachment. Otherwise, you will try to control everything. Like you control your kid. No, you're going to listen to me. You try to control all those situations in life and then you get frustrated because you cannot gain control over it. Even your kid doesn't listen to me, that which has sprung out from your own body. They won't listen to you. How can you control the n number of elements which is outside, which is apart from you? So rather controlling and then worrying and fearing and getting angry and frustrated, what do? Understand that you are a puppet in the hands of Godhead. Okay, you want Corona to come, you want that COVID-19 has to have these many variants, have to go in waves, striking this society, creating a massive destruction of lives. If it is what that you want, let that happen. I accept. You want me to be a beggar, I'll be a beggar. You want me to be the richest of the richest, I'll be that. But at both circumstances, I'll not lose my sense because it is you who have kept me. Rama was himself like that. Sense of agency. He comes to Kausalya, his mother, saying that Amba Pitra Niyuktosmi Prajapalana Karmani. He says, my father had made an agent, had appointed me as an agent in serving the people of the city of Ayodhya, he says. The entire Ikshvaku dynasty kings believed that they were just agents, they were not rulers, they were not monarchs. No, they cannot exercise control over society. It was Lord Narayana who exercised control over society, who exercised control over everywhere. He is the maintenance god. He maintains the entire universe. Ayodhya is just small part of the universe. He can maintain that. He can take care of that. Monarchs believed that they were agents. Who are we? Hence, he was unaffected by the change in the administration. Bharata was made, as the king. He was ought to be the king. Bharata was ought to be the king, but somehow Bharata didn't want to be the king. Rama was, thrown to the jungle. He was unaffected. Why? Because he believed that he is just an agent. That sense of agency inside you will create that non-attachment, and that is what will keep you suffering free, I tell you. Trouble free. Stress free. So, Dasyam, I am your Dasa, I am your servant, I am your agent. You make me do things. That should happen. Sakyam, okay. No. I cannot be his servant. I can be his friend. Huh? Max examination, 100 out of 100. I do not know whether I could, pass this examination. Hey, buddy, please take care of my examination. You make me pass through the examination. There are many people who do that. Lord had accepted them as devotees. I told you. So Sakyam, kind of friendship attribute developed towards Lordhead, Godhead. What does that make you do? Carefree. He is taking care of everything. What will happen when you are on vacation and you are on your friend's villa? There are 17 servants. Will you get up and think what breakfast I should make today? No. You are going to enjoy the day. There are 17 servants helping me. No, it is their headache. What to make and what not to make. I will not even think. I will just get up fresh. Try to open the windows, smell fresh air, which I never do in my house. So when you have Lord as your friend, what is the kind of attitude that you'll have towards life? Stress-free. He is there to protect me, take care of me. Atmanivedanam. At last, but not the least, the self has to be given as oblation to him. That kind of ego massacre has to happen. The entire self has to be given as an oblation, an ahuti, a nivedanam, naivedyam to Lord. Because it is through you, it is because of you that I am what I am. I thought I should conclude, but with this one single piece of information, I'll conclude. I'm sorry, I'm taking your time. I didn't realize that significance of body parts like eyes, nose, and all. No, I didn't realize the significance of body parts until I begot a child. My son, my second child, was born without rectum and anus, and he had to undergo 4-5 surgeries. It is just a small little hole down there. You don't even realize that it really does any function at all. But when it is not there, how much a child can endure surgical processes, very troublesome surgical processes, I didn't even realize until I got a child. Why am I saying this? Everything that God gives you is a blessing. 2 days ago, I was talking to my young kid. He was telling about some piece of information about his body. And then saying that, sorry, Vivan, he's Vivan. Sorry, Vivan, you are made so. He said, I don't care, mommy, I'm special. And to be special is always nice. So, that kind of attitude, even when something is missing, it is Lord's blessing. It is Lord's blessing. That is what you should have. I learned it from my son 2 days ago. I was worried, I was unhappy with all those things that he endured, he tolerate. Even now, something or the other that is troubling him. But he has this attitude. I'm so very happy, elated at that point of time when he said, I'm happy, mommy. I'm special because he made me special. And to be special is always nice. So with that, we will also learn to elate ourselves up by developing this attitude. Come what may, it is his blessings. It is his desire. Because of what I am, I will be what I will be, and I was. We'll develop that attitude. Thank you so very much. We'll meet next Sunday on principles of karma and little amount of karma yoga. Again, sense of agency will come up. Thank you. Is there any question? If not, then I think Manish is not here, so we'll conclude. Thank you, Aurelia, for the answers.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much. The last thing you said, it made my life a little easier about everything being a blessing, even if it is a hard time or a bad thing that is happening. That sentence actually cleared the thing for me instantly. Thank you so very much.
So shall we all believe. So shall we all believe.
Thank you kindly. Bye. Have a wonderful day. Bye.